In this video, I will be showing you all how I make my pizza at home. You are more than welcome to use any pizza dough recipe that you like or that you have on hand, but I like to use the one that I found in the book Flour, Water, Salt, Yeast. It's super easy, very basic recipe, but you, again, are more than welcome to use whatever you like. I am not going to show you all how to make the pizza dough in this video, but I will be showing you all how I form my pizza dough into pizza balls. I absolutely love this recipe from Flour, Water, Salt, Yeast because the crust comes out so crispy but also chewy, and then you also end up with a very bubbly air pockets all around the perimeter of the pizza. So delicious. I highly suggest that you all use this recipe for your pizza dough. It's the perfect combination of crispy and chewiness. So once you prep your dough from whatever recipe you like, it's time to divide the dough into pizza balls. And so I'm going to show you all how to do that up next. To divide your dough, go ahead and flour a flat surface of about 2 feet wide. And go ahead and grab that dough that has probably been sitting on your counter for the past 6 hours or more. With floured hands, so that the dough doesn't stick to your hands, scoop out the pizza dough from out of the bowl and onto the floured surface. After you do this, be careful. You want to carefully spread the dough onto the floured surface. Make sure to be careful and not overwork the dough with your hands. Overworking the dough would result in degassing the dough, and that's not what you want. A gassy dough results in a very bubbly crust, which is what we want, so be gentle. Now, using either a dough knife or a bench scraper like I did, cut your dough into 5 equal medium-sized pieces. Don't cut in the middle like I did, because for whatever reason, I thought I was going to need 4 pieces, but I was wrong. It's okay. I just needed a little more of the dough to each piece. Easy fix. Notice how I'm measuring out my pieces. You kind of need to be precise here. You want to use a kitchen scale to measure out your pieces. Each piece should be about 340 grams. And don't worry if a piece weighs a few grams more or a few grams less. So long as they are about equal, you will be fine. Alright, now grab a cookie sheet and lightly flour it so you can place your shaped pizza balls right on top of it. Now let's shape. We are going to shape 5 individual pizza balls. Each piece will require that you make several folds of the dough in order for you to achieve a ball of dough that has a medium tight consistency. You want to have a semi-smooth, tight exterior of the dough. Again, while making your folds, you need to be careful. You don't want to overwork the dough. Overworking it is what degasses it, and we don't want to release all of the yummy gases that are inside. Like I said earlier, the gases are what make the crust crispy and bubbly once it is out of the oven. So don't overwork your dough. Place your shaped balls on the floured cookie sheet. And make sure to leave just enough space in between the shaped balls on the cookie sheet, because while you put these to rest on the counter, they will expand and get a little bigger. So once you have all 5 shaped balls on your cookie sheet, go ahead and flour the top of the balls, cover with plastic wrap, and then let them rest at room temperature for a good 30 to 60 minutes or whatever other time your recipe says. So once your pizza balls have been resting on the counter and have doubled in size, refrigerate them for at least 30 minutes before shaping the balls into pizzas. This is very important because cold dough is so much easier to work with. This also helps you to avoid having the dough stick to your hand. And also because cold dough is so much easier to shape into actual pizza. For the sauce, I am using a slightly modified version of a homemade pizza sauce recipe that I found in Queenslee Appetite. The blogger has an excellent recipe for a thick homemade sauce, and I encourage you all to make it. So delicious. Today we're making a very easy and very simple red pizza sauce. So let's prep our ingredients. Right now I am dicing some garlic, and this is probably more than the recommended amount in the recipe, but what the heck, I love garlic. You need to also make sure to chop up your onion and grate some Parmesan cheese. I don't show that in this video, but go ahead and do that. First we have our saucepan with medium heat, so while it's heating up, I'm going to add a tablespoon of butter and then like 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Then to that I will add 1/3 cup of onion and 4 cloves of garlic. It's a house. Okay, and then to that I'm going to add some red pepper flakes, some Italian seasoning, oregano, basil. And then just let it cook till the onion is a little transparent, but just leave it in there for like 3 to 4 minutes. And just keep mixing it because then the garlic will burn. Then after the 3 to 4 minutes, we will be adding a can of tomato sauce and then a can of tomato paste. I'm going to add my big can of tomato sauce. It's 13 ounces. And I'm gonna add some water so that I can get all of that in there. Just give it a little stir. And then our tomato paste. And with this one too, I'll do the same. I'll add water and then scrape off the inside. And stir, incorporating the tomato paste into the sauce. Just don't spill it like I did. Okay, up next I'm going to add some sugar, about a teaspoon of sugar, and 3 tablespoons of shredded or grated Parmesan cheese, just for extra flavor. At this point you can add salt and pepper to taste. It could use some salt and pepper. So I'm gonna add some pepper and some salt. bring that to a boil, and once it boils, let it simmer for 20 to 30 minutes so that the sauce can thicken. And while that cooks, I'll show you guys what I'm doing with the pizza stone and the pizza dough. Alright, so in the oven I have my pizza stone. It's been heating up there, and I'm gonna preheat my oven to 550 or 600. Right now I've been heating up my pizza stone. Make sure you heat it up for at least 30 minutes before you actually make your pizza. That way the stone is nice and hot. And then put it in the broil setting for about 5 minutes, and then switch it back to bake for 550 so we can make a pizza. I've got 4 pizza doughs here, and I'm going to start working with one. So here it is, and I need to make sure that we have a flour surface. So let me get some flour. So this was pretty embarrassing because my friend did not actually have flour. Oops. I looked everywhere. I even looked in places where one is not even supposed to put flour, but it's okay. I did hesitate for a bit to use a non-flour surface, but I made it work. The pizza that I made here is actually the pizza that you see all over this video. So yeah, just make it work. Now it's time to shape your pizza on the flat surface. Be careful not to stretch it out too much because then it'll rip. But most importantly, make sure to have fun with it. You do have other pizza balls on the counter to work with. So just keep doing that until all your pizza is stretched out to the size that you want. Go ahead and drizzle some olive oil on top, sprinkle some basil and some sea salt. I actually had to go grab the salt, but it's okay. Now go grab that pizza sauce that is nice and hot. Grab a spoon so that you can spread it on the pizza. And sorry guys, I did have to taste it. It's so damn good. Thankfully no one saw me, I think. Alright, so here we have the pizza sauce that we made. Now I'm going to put some of that sauce on top. And then just spread it out with the back of my spoon. So now I'm gonna spread a mix of shredded Parmesan and mozzarella and shredded provolone cheese. So it's a mix, it's an Italian mix. I'm going to add big slices of provolone cheese. I'm just gonna plop them on top. Okay, and then now I'm gonna put some pepperoni on top. And that is our pizza. That's fun. That would be better.
Yeah,
So-
you look cute. Your outfit looks great.